we are going to delve deep into ancient Indian history. I am going to give you more ideas, right? So take a look at this. Here, this is the list of the dynasties. If you consider the entire syllabus of ancient Indian history, so you will find many dynasties find mention. All right, and this is a popular theme also. Normally, you people also, when you study ancient Indian history, your focus is the dynasties, the rulers, the political system, rather than economic, social, cultural. But you have to reverse this now, because nowadays the trend is such where there is a greater emphasis on non-political aspects rather than political. But it's still political to be done as well. So these are the total dynasties what you will come across. Beginning with Mauryas. And you can connect with the phases what I have shown. So Mauryas, Shungas, Indo-Greek, Sakas, Kushanas, Western, Chhatrap, they refer to foreign ruling groups. And the Western Chhatraps were a branch of the Shakas. Then Satavahanas, Chedis, Kharvela belong to Chedi dynasty. Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. So here we talk about the Sangames. So sometimes we use the term Sangames Cholas, because we have one more Cholas, what we call imperial Cholas, right? So in general, it is considered that the Sangames Cholas and the imperial Cholas, they were not connected. But the Pandyas during the Sangames and the Pandyas later, they were the same. Cheras also continued in Kerala region till about 13th century. Then Guptas, Vakatak. And Vakatak was a small ruling house in Maharashtra region. Kadambas, Pallavas, Chalukyas of Badam. This is the total. Here, I have to give you a specific idea that when you prepare, you are not supposed to read everything about all the dynasties, because the civil service exam, history optional subject, follows a specific standard. And we should also follow that standard in order to address almost all the questions. Very simple logic. So I'm going to give you the idea, as per that standard, what is the requirement here under dynasties. When you study, for example, when you study, suppose, Kushanas. So, since you don't have idea, so you study everything. Kushanas, name of rulers, certain specific activities. My point is, you have to avoid this, you have to save time, you have to just focus on only those themes that could occur as a question. This is the idea I want to give you here. So one by one. In Mauryas, what? You can write down. In Mauryas. Under Mauryas, what? Mauryas is, you can say, a big dynasty. I mean, these two, rather I would be saying, Mauryas and Guptas. So related to Mauryas and Guptas, almost everything is required. I mean, political, economic, social, cultural, almost everything. So anyway, Mauryas and Guptas, you have to deal with in comprehensive manner. But besides these two, you should have idea, because beside these two, there are many. So, Shungas. Under Shungas, just one requirement is there, art. Nothing else. Art. This means if you have to study Shungas for the civil services exam, history optional subject, the only theme which could occur as a question is Shunga art, nothing else. But Shunga art we never prepare. I hope you understand. We prepare something else there. That never occurs as a question. Third, Indo-Greeks. So Indo-Greeks, under Indo-Greeks what? Rather, I should tell you collectively. Under these foreign ruling groups, I mean 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. What are the requirements? Number one, coins. I mean, they're coins they issued. Because we have one theme, what we call numismatic art. That is the art on coins. So their coins are very important for numismatic art, one thing. Besides, through their coins, we come to know about the vision of the foreign rulers, the vision of Kushanas, this kind of thing. So one is coins. Second is new elements introduced in the political system. New elements introduced in the political system. New elements introduced in the political system. Now, what does it mean? This means when they entered India in the post-Mauryan period, there was an existing political system. They added some new dimensions. Now, for example, they added a new dimension, what we call the concept of divine kinship. So this is a new element added. Okay? So one is coins. Second is new elements introduced into the political system. That's it. Just only two things, nothing else. Seventh, Satvanas. And one more specific to Kushana, one more you add, specific to Kushana, that is art. Thus Kushana is specific, art. So 3 issues you have written on that. Now under Satvanas, number 1, art. Number 1, art. And number 2, coins. Number 1, art. Number 2, coins. And number 3, the very small one, inscriptions. Number 3, inscriptions. Okay. Now, number 8. So number 8, nothing is important. Kharvela is a personality. I will shift later. Now 9, 10, 11 together. This is Sangam age, Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. Sangam age, Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. So one theme important is the political system. Political system or this, yes, political system. And second thing important is literature. The literature what developed during their period is known as Sangam literature. So second is literature. So one is the political system, second is literature, and of course connected to literature is the social cultural system, but that is connected. I mean, in Sangam literature, with all idea, we get all about their socio-cultural system. That is anyway connected. So just 2. Then 13, Vakchakas. Just one issue is there. That is Ajanta art. Some caves of Ajanta were constructed by the rock-cut caves by Vakata. This is only issue important, that's it. And sometimes since their phase overlap, so could be connected in art. For example, Gupta Vakatak art. This issue also write down. Gupta Vakatak art. So it's a blend, combination of the art in this phase and the phase overlap. So Vakatakas existed during 4th, 5th, 6th century. So this overlap with the Guptas. 14 is Kadambas, here nothing is important. Now 15, Pallavas. So Pallavas, number 1, art. Number 2, political system. And one more, I'll first try to understand here. Say, Pallavas and the Chalukyas of Badami. They were contemporary. In history, there are many Chalukyas. Because there are many, so we identify them on the basis of their region or their capital. We call these Chalukyas as Chalukyas of Badami because their capital was Badami, that is situated in Karnataka. So there were many. Among many, the first was Chalukyas of Badami. Many other branches of Chalukyas, like Eastern Chalukyas of Vengi, Western Chalukyas of Kalyani, they emerged out of this. And since their rule was mainly in Karnataka region, that is the western part of the peninsula, so we call them Western Chalukyas. And since they were the first, we call them early Western. So this term also you can write down, early Western Chalukyas. Early Western Chalukyas. Because we have latter Western Chalukyas also. They are known as Chalukyas of Kalyani. So they emerged latter, so we call them latter. But the rule was in the western region, Karnataka mainly, so we call them again Western. So we call them latter Western Chalukyas of Kalyani. Sometimes we use an expression Chalukyas of Gujarat, a Rajput ruler in Gujarat region. So here identity is based on region, Gujarat. But they were different. They were not connected to these Chalukyas. So these two were contemporary. And their political boundaries also were adjacent. And so there was a conflict. And this conflict was a long, drawn-out conflict. So this conflict is an important issue. So next issue is Pallava Chalukyas conflict. Pallava Chalukyas conflict. See, certain conflicts in history are remarkable because of they being a long drawn. No, one is this. One is tripartite struggle among Palas, Pratiharas and Rajputas. One is Cholas and Chalukyas of Kalyani conflict. One is Vijayanagar and Bahmani's conflict. No? So this is something like that. So 3 issues you have written in Pallavas. One is connected to this also. Now, under Chalukyas of Badami, what issues? Number 1, art. Number 1, art. And 2 is, of course, connected, that is Pallava Chalukyas conflict. That's it. This is the way you have to focus. And here, certain issues, rather many issues you have written, what you don't prepare. They are very, very important. So these are the only important things. So in Mauryas, there are many issues. Guptas, there are many issues. So we leave them. Rest is important for you because rest are many. and they are very confusing. So I hope dynasty-wise preparation approach should be what? That you understand. Now I'm going to shift to personalities. If you consider the entire ancient Indian history, I mean in any history, there are personalities. There are personalities in world history, there are personalities in modern Indian history, there are personalities in ancient Indian history as well. But what personalities are relevant for our exam? So in today's pattern, if you consider today's pattern, so 1, 2, 3, and 8. In today's pattern, because pattern has been changing, becoming slightly complex, the popular things losing significance. They are very popular, like some traditional issues like Kaniska, Kharvela, Samudragupta, Harsha. If you have a look at the past year questions, you will find there were questions on these long back in 70s, 80s, 90s. But you will find 2000 onwards and gradually 2010 onwards, there is no question on this. Why? Because this kind of traditional personality-centric themes have lost relevance in general because of the growing dominance of the non-political themes like social, cultural, economic, art, religion, philosophy. So your focus should be 1, 2, 3, 8. And there also a specific issue is there. In Buddha, just one, teachings. Teachings of Buddha, nothing else. It's not like the whole biography of Buddha, just teachings. If any question has to occur from Buddha, that is teachings. Mahavira, only teachings. Mahavira, only teachings. Ashoka, politico-cultural policy. Politico-cultural policy. Narasimhavarman first, also known as Mahamal or Mamal. So related to this, just one, that is art. Its title is this. Or Mahamal, on the basis of Mal or Mahamal or Mahamal means great wrestler, powerful person. So on the basis of this, we use an expression that represent a style, Mahamal style. So Mahamal style is in fact the style of temple architecture and sculpture. Temple architecture and sculpture. Okay. Now, so these four. So 4, 5, 6, 7. I will provide you in the notes. You can have a look. But we shouldn't expect question on them. But broad idea you should have. So your focus should be 1, 2, 3, 8. So this is all about the personalities in ancient times. Now after this, next is the trends.